The Select Committee on CCP, Chinese Communist Party, introduced a new act. It's called the Protecting America from Foreign Adversary Controlled Applications Act. It's really getting kind of ridiculous. The act prohibits ByteDance from continuing to own TikTok, and if it continues to own TikTok, then they can't download the application in the United States. And the argument is that this is an app that's controlled by a foreign adversary. What foreign adversary? It's owned by a private company. What happened to your idea of free market? What happened to your idea of sacrosanct private property? What happened to your ideas of freedom of expression? It's getting so totally ridiculous. We find that the American Congress, in order to play the game of hustling for more votes, especially during an election year, anything goes. The Select Subcommittee is a subcommittee on strategic adversary, namely the Chinese Communist Party. This is just really, really getting ridiculous. The adversaries, it has brought about benefit and improved the livelihood of 1.4 billion people. And the 1.4 billion people are very happy about the way the country is run, the organization of the government. They're very happy about it. And the US Congress comes up with things like this and continue to vilify the Chinese government, vilify the Chinese people, even the Chinese population. And this is McCarthyism at its worst. It's actually worse than McCarthyism because it's also coupled with a distinct flavor of yellow peril, namely racism. I lived in the US for a long time, and I sensed the deep-seated racism of white folks, of many white folks, against colored people of all shades. But this is now sanctifying it into law, into regulatory control by the government, is putting racism distinctly in the vilification of a race, a country, a people, distinctly into its legal system. It's sad what America has become, what it's headed toward. Why focus on ByteDance? Why focus on TikTok? Why focus on them? Because they're successful. Because they are representing what people like, people enjoy watching, people enjoy participating in. It's absolutely amazing that a piece of software becomes so popular globally. And potentially also it's a way of expressing ideas, expressing views, maybe expressing views that are not to the liking of the politicians in Washington. Maybe that has something to do with it as well. And then this Protecting Americans from Foreign Adversary Controlled Applications Act. You mean the capitalists, the investors who invested in ByteDance, purely a market action, purely a free market investment action, is now called an adversary. What happened to all of your grandiose talk of freedom, free market, and the sanctity of private property?